All right, welcome in hour two. Some people were saying I didn't leave, Clayton. Well, all right, good. Glad you didn't. Let's move it along here. Let's get rounding out the top 100 here, getting close. Cameron Williams out of Texas, projected late first round. And some of you guys are probably going late first round, but you got him in the 90 spot. That's right. That's why the draft board's important. Like, we're showing where the quality prospects are, maybe where the guys that are, in our opinion, might be a little bit hyped, right? So I think it's important to look at that all the way around here. Holmes MD1, we shall continue to suck. All right, projected draft position, late first round. Texas produces another tackle in Cameron Williams, a player with a massive frame and untapped potential. His physical tools have caught attention, projecting him as late first round prospect with room to grow. He's 6'5", 317 pounds. His arm length, 34.5 inches. Tim, that's probably why people see him as a first round pick, I would imagine. That's pretty good arm length there.
Yeah, for sure. He cut some weight, it looks like. Again, he was listed at 335 earlier, according to PFF. So here's someone who looks like, if he's at 317 now, he lost significant weight.
Hey, I'm sorry to throw a wrench in the spokes here, but just while it's in my mind, otherwise I know I'll forget it. Have you guys seen the D tackle from Florida that's probably going to be, I would hope to be drafted, but he's like 6'6", 425 pounds.
Yeah, we talked about him. Was it last time or not before, Tim? We talked about him?
Okay.
I think so, yeah.
If he is drafted, he will be the largest person that's ever been drafted in the history of the NFL. Anyways, I'm sorry to derail that. I just thought it popped in my head and I went, God, that'd be like, I don't know where, if the Packers drafted him with the 7th, I'd be like, oh yeah, plug him in, baby. Put in the big boy.
The comment I made in the Patreon group, someone posted the article was, I want to eat at his grandma's house. Like, his grandma knows how to cook.
Thanksgiving's the best Thanksgiving.
It is. All right, number 94. I hope I'm saying this right. Ajani Cornelius. All right, projected draft position, 5th to 6th round. Oregon's Ajani Cornelius rounds out the Ducks' representation on this list. His versatility and solid fundamentals make him a reliable mid to late round option for teams seeking depth with upside. So here's one of these guys. If he is truly a 5th to 6th round pick, Tim, help me out here with the ticker. Think about this. Where would, in the 5th or 6th round, around what pick would that be as the ticker rolls?
159, 198, and then 237 would put you into the 7th round.
Gotcha. So you would be getting the 94th prospect with, say, pick 159. That's why it's important to kind of focus on the board and see where these guys lie. What's PFF say about this guy? What do y'all think about him?
You know, what's interesting about this guy is that he is the exact opposite prototype of what we look for as far as progression. So in 2022, the guy played 11 games. Kudos to you. Played over 720 snaps, only allowed 1 sack, 2 hits, 3 hurries, but he had a 90.1 grade. I mean, that's amazing, right? 90.1 grade in 2022. 2023 came in and he played 14 games, had a 77.9 grade, almost 900 snaps, let go of no sacks, no 1 hit and 10 hurries. But then he comes back in 2024. He's a 74.2, played 14 games, almost 1,000 snaps, 3 sacks, 4 hits, 22 hurries allowed. He's predominantly, almost exclusively a right tackle. He's regressed every year since he's been in college, and that's not exactly what we're looking for. I would argue that maybe there's a situation there where we could, probably understand why that happened. It was a coaching change, an offensive scheme change, something like that. But what do you guys think about the fact that he's regressed since 2022, where he was his best season, almost elite?
Yeah, it's weird, strange. I don't know, Tim. What do you think I'm trying to think, did they change offenses or anything? But Oregon, man, they were humming last year, right?
They were.
So,
yeah, and they didn't really move him around. I mean,
no, he's exclusively almost a right tackle, right?
Handful of snaps at left tackle, left guard, but that was only last year. That was the only time they even tried to sprinkle him in a little bit at other spots. So, and then injuries don't appear to be a big factor. It looks like he missed some time in 2022, but nothing significant. So, yeah, I don't know what would explain that. I do know that the footwork with him seems to be a concern, and then the speed and quickness too. So, I don't know.
No.
All right, moving along. Number 97, we got Ozzie Trapillo out of Boston College. Projected draft position is 3rd to 4th round. Ozzie Boston College's Ozzie Trapillo brings a blue-collar mentality to the field. His work ethic and physicality, combined with consistent play, have elevated him to the third or fourth round. And what we got here is an 8.85 RAS. I love the fact, don't you love that they mention his work ethic and his physicality? And my man did everything they asked him to other than the vertical, it looks like. So his height, 6 foot.
A true 6'8". That's crazy.
6'8", 316 pounds, 22 reps. The 22 reps kind of low, but he's got 33-inch arms, not horrible, but you would expect a little bit longer arms for a guy that size. Broad jump of 8'10", 40-yard dash 5.21. The shuttle looks decent, 4.7 and a 7.71. Not bad at all there. We got him in the 97 spot, so obviously that's probably right there in the wheelhouse, right? Like pick 3 or third round is 87th pick, and round 4 is the 124th pick. So we got him at 97. We're right there in that ballpark.
Boy, I don't know about you, Tim, but I look at his grades and I think, okay, that's serviceable. 10 games, 12 games, 12 games, almost 700 snaps if each of his seasons. Only gave up a limited amount of sacks. He is a right tackle the last 2 years, but he has substantial snaps at left tackle. Almost 700. He's a swing tackle. Isn't that that's kind of a guy we need there, Tim, isn't it?
Yep. And the other thing that's not going to show up on his RAS chart is his FBI. Multiple scouting reports on him have praised his football intelligence and the ability to play different spots and different schemes. So this guy is definitely someone who should be on
Look
the
at
radar.
that hand size too. That dude is
big old balls on that.
He's
guy
palming
right
the basketball for sure on that one.
How about these hands?
Up next, and this is one of those guys that would probably, I don't know, maybe he wouldn't. I was going to say maybe he would convert to a guard, but at 6'7", Lord have mercy. We got Brandon Crenshaw Dixon out of Florida, projected is 4th to 6th round. We got him in the 129 spot. Closing the list is Brandon Crenshaw Dixon from Florida. While still raw in some areas, his athleticism and size have him pegged as a mid-round prospect with the potential to develop into a contributor. Now, boy, he did not measure out to live up to that scouting report that that was pulled off the intraweb there. 6'7", check the box. 316, not bad, right? Arm length good, 34 inches. Hand size, 10.5 inches. Vertical jump, only 24 inches, scoring a 198. Broad jump,
I can jump that high.
800, 184. 40-yard dash, 5.33. 20-yard split, 3.08. Everything's poor across the board. Matter of fact, the explosion grade was very poor. So, obviously, they got him projected 4th to 6th round, a pretty wide range there. We got him in the 129 spot.
He's a good zone blocker.
He's a very good zone blocker.
He's a swing tackle also, technically speaking.
I would agree with that.
Tim, a good backup.
Are you surprised? Dude. Look at his 2024 grades by game. I mean, like he had maybe 3 games that were like you consider subpar, but other than that, it's quite impressive. It's almost like this is one of those guys where you don't quite understand the PFF grading scale because I'm talking mid 70s to high 80s. Other than the fact that he had a 49, a 60, a 60, and a 50. You know what I mean? So, and you look at his progression. Again, something that I personally would be enticed with. 2022, 53.1, 2023, 72.8. This last year, 2024, 80.3. Seems like he's been healthy-ish. Like you said, swing tackle to the point where he literally is almost dead center. He went exclusively left tackle in 2022 for almost 800 snaps. He split it almost in 2023 for left and right tackle, and then 2024 exclusively right tackle. So that's to me, if we got this guy in the 5th, 6th, I'd be cool with that.
Drew D says, was he even trying, Tim? RAS. That's pretty rough, right?
I don't know, but like Jacob's saying, late round pick, maybe buck the conventional wisdom a little bit, and
can anyone in the chat let us know
on a guy that might just turn out to be a good player, even if he's not, an athletic freak or anything.
Yeah, can anyone in the chat let us know what Rasheed Walker's measurables were as far as RAS and where he was projected? Because this to me screams kind of like a Rasheed Walker type guy, where it's like nobody's giving him the time of day, and all of a sudden he just comes in the league and he's good. Yeah. He's better than good. He's serviceable.
Yeah, Rasheed Walker had an incomplete RAS. So
Rasheed, he's a finisher though.
Yes, he is. We got his measurable 6'5", 313. His hand size was 10.6. Arm length was 33.6. So that's where he was at. And yes, we got that, Jacob. Final thoughts. This year's offensive tackle class is shaping up to be deep and talented with a mix of polished prospects and high upside projects. From the top tier talents like Will Campbell and Armand Mimbo to late round flyers like Brandon Crenshaw Dixon. There's something for every team's draft strategy. As the pre-draft process unfolds, keep an eye on these names. They could be the key to bolstering an NFL offensive line. So there's your offensive tackle breakdown. And again, you guys have had access to that for a while. You've also got access to the next one we're going to cover, which is interior offensive line over at the Patreon group. So, as we move on from tackle, again, the same thing applies to guards. Some people might see a guard as a tackle. Some people might see many of those tackles as guards. Just, hey, use your own imagination, right? We tried to do the best we could in determining whether someone would be or wouldn't. But Drew D, to answer your question here, says Rasheed Walker was a high 4-star recruit out of high school, so you could bet your bottom dollar he is quite athletic. Very good point there.
He was the best guy around.
All right, let's get into the interior offensive lineman. This article is also up on Patreon, the top interior offensive lineman to watch in the 2025 NFL Draft. As the draft nears, the interior offensive line position showcases a blend of power, versatility, and high upside talent that the NFL craves to bolster their trenches. Based on current evaluations and projections as of March 29, 2025, here's a look at the standout interior offensive linemen in this year's class listed alphabetically with their projected draft positions. Of course, I had re-ranked it, though, by how they set on our board here. These prospects have impressed scouts with their physical traits, college performances, and potential to anchor the interior of an NFL offensive line. I said important. Some of the RAS cards are calculated off playing tackle as opposed to interior, which will result in a lower score. So you're going to notice on some of these cards, it'll say tackle. So that might give us a little bit more information as to where some people see them. So first on the list in the 39 spot is Tyler Booker. He's 39 on our board. He was a captain. Projected draft position is late first round. Alabama's Tyler Booker is a powerhouse guard with the size and strength to dominate in the run game, a team captain. Booker's leadership and football IQ shine through, making him a plug-and-play starter for teams running a gap-heavy scheme, which we don't. While his athleticism isn't elite, his ability to anchor against power rushers positions him as a late first-round talent, probably closer to early second, I would imagine. The RAS card is Cheeks as a guard, too, not even a tackle. 3.64. He comes in at 6'4", 321. He does have long arms, though, 34.5 inches, probably why scouts are all over him. What do y'all think about Tyler Booker here out of Bama?
That just seems to be the guy that's like a glaring, just stay away from him where they have him projected. I don't know why. I just, usually people are pretty high on Alabama recruits, no matter, where or where they're projected or that kind of stuff. I keep 11-inch hands. That's, that guy's got it. 34.5-inch arms. That to me is pretty awesome, especially as a guard. But I don't know. There's just something about me in my gut that says don't invest a high pick in this guy. If he were to fall to the second or the third, I'd way more consider it. But I don't know. Tim, what are you thinking?
Another FBI guy for sure. So just looking at PFS write-up, he's got foot speed and balance issues that keep him from being a considered a blue chip prospect, but there is still a lot to like. As a powerful, well-built, competitive, high football IQ guard prospect. And then again, emphasis on the man gap heavy run scheme is, an ideal fit for him. So, I see him more as a second round and beyond guy. I don't know, but I mean, you never know. I would not be shocked if he was a first round pick.
Tim, do you think he's a product of being like, I don't know how to word it, maybe that he is in a group of what is usually like a superior group of offensive linemen being from Alabama, and he is just kind of so necessarily just because he doesn't have the traits to necessarily jump off the page where it's like this guy's an athletic freak. Is it in the same vein of kind of like the Brian Branch, the Kyle Hamiltons, where it's like this guy just plays football? He doesn't measure that well, but he just plays football well. Could you see him sneaking up in the higher in the draft because of that fact?
I would think that would be that combined with his FBI, the high football IQ would probably make a team willing to do that. And then, the consistency too, it looks like he's missed one game in the last, 3 years. So he's always available. It seems like.
Gotcha.
Judy in the chat says, Clayton, idea. What if you put the high school recruit grade next to all these guys with incomplete grades? That'd be interesting. Be a lot of work. Listen, I'm into the high school recruiting stuff. I love it. I was actually going to run an idea by our listeners, and this probably wouldn't be the best. I need to put a vote up is what I need to do. I thought about doing a Notre Dame podcast on this channel as well. And I know there's not many Notre Dame fans that watch it, but it would pull a lot of Notre Dame fans into the channel. I don't want to do it to the extent to where it hurts what we're doing here with Packers Talk. It won't interfere with how often we go live for Packers Talk, but I didn't know what you guys would think about that. Yeah, it might be a little more college football centric, but kind of a Notre Dame fans view on it. But just wanted to throw that out there. You guys let me know, give me feedback in the Patreon group what y'all think about that. But I think it's a great idea though, Drew, putting the high school recruit grade next to it. That would be awesome, and just have more information rather than less. So number 55 on our big board, Donovan Jackson out of Ohio State. Here's the guy. Late first, early second is the projection. Donovan Jackson brings a rare mix of athleticism and power to the table. His unexpected stint at left tackle during Ohio State's championship run showcased his versatility, but his natural fit is inside at guard. Jackson's strong hands and movement skills make him a coveted prospect, likely landing him in the late first or early second round. The RAS card did not run the 40, but he's got a 9.59 RAS card at 6'3", 315, 32 bench reps, boys. He's stronger than a garlic milkshake.
This is a man mover right here. This guy moves bodies.
Look at the explosion grade, Tim. 32.5-inch vert, broad jump of 8'11". Got a great explosion grade. His shuttle, too, was looking solid, although he did not qualify to have a composite agility grade there at 4.60 on the shuttle.
Not the flashiest player, but his footwork, technique, and leadership give him day one starter potential. Here's the guy.
I love that you highlighted that, Tim. But also what is cool to me is that Donovan Jackson seamlessly went from being a predominant left guard, playing over 800 snaps both in 2022 and in 2023. He played almost 300 snaps at left guard in 2024 when I imagine they had an incident with their left tackle. Then they kicked him out for 500 plus snaps, and the guy absolutely crushed it. As far as, as much as the guard being kicked out to that position can crush it, he crushed it. He only allowed 2 sacks, 5 hits, 12 hurries. He had a gap grade of 65.8, zone grade of 74.5, run block grade of 72, and a pass block grade of 69.9. Not flashy, like you said, nothing that's going to, you got to write home about, but the dude was serviceable and shows that he's a versatile offensive lineman on pretty much anybody's board. That to me makes him probably jump up at least a round.
Banks. Let him back up Aaron Banks, right? Put Big E at center.
I'd be cool with it. Let's
Clint
go.
in the chat says, what's a scarlet milkshake?
That's not what he
it probably sounded like it. That's how, listen.
Band name called it.
That Kentucky twang, man. I like to take 6 words and make them into one, but it was a triple garlic milkshake.
Clayton, how do you say Louisville?
It's Louisville. One syllable, Louisville.
You say Lou and you just say Lou.
Oh man, I'll tell you, dude. And it's
funny. Louisville, every time you say that, I'm gonna with that drop.
That ex-Cardinal over there. I try to sound, y'all are gonna laugh. I try to sound somewhat professional on the show, but when I go back home to Kentucky, man, 10 minutes later, bro, I'm right back into it's like Trailer Park Boys. I'm just telling you, dude.
Right, man. Called Mountain Day.
Yeah, I'm telling you, every time, man, every time. All right, moving along. Tate Ratledge out of Georgia, late first to early second. Georgia's Tate Ratledge is a technician with a brawler's mentality. Shh. Can I read that again, please? Georgia Tate Ratledge is a technician with a brawler's mentality.
Heard it from a fan right here.
Run the card up at 23, Goot. Don't even waste no time. Give me this dude right here. It says a standout at the Senior Bowl. Ratledge's pass blocking prowess and ability to move defenders in the run game make him a day 2 gem. His height, 6'6", and shorter arms suggest a permanent move inside where he could thrive as a starting guard. His RAS, 996. All right. His hand size 10.3, arms, like I said, a little shorter at 32.2 or 32 and a quarter, I should say. 6'6", 308, 25 bench reps, vertical jump of 32 inches, and a broad jump of 905. That's an elite explosion grade. 3-cone was a 738. That was elite. His composite speed grade with a 40-yard dash of 497 gives him an elite. And it was fairly even across that 40-yard dash. It wasn't like quick bursts, no top-end speed. It was solid all the way through, fairly evenly distributed. So Tate Ratledge is a guy that if you're looking up in the second round and somehow, some way he's there at the I'm about to say the 23rd pick of the second round, but that would be what, pick 54?
Yep.
Man, I know we've been talking about a lot of wide receivers and corners and this and that, but Tate Ratledge would be a fun one, man. You could bring him in there and create some real competition. What do y'all think about him?
I agree. I think he has a lot of value. And this may be, one of them Georgia guys that we might actually hit on here in the draft. So, no, there's a lot to like about him. Didn't he play a little bit of center too? Am I thinking correct?
It does seem like, was it him or am I thinking of someone else? I get the Georgia boys mixed up, man. They always got a solid line that are Kirby Smart.
No, Jared Wilson. That's who I was thinking of.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Dave MX Garcia says, if you drafted Tate at 23, you're smoking the devil's lettuce. He's not Zach Markin. He didn't mean 23 overall, 23 in the second round.
No, we're talking 54 there, but
Yep.
yeah. I think you're on the devil's lettuce tonight, Dave. You thought I said 23.
Here's a guy.
54 would even seem like a little bit of a reach because he's 6'1" on our board, but it's within range, And I wouldn't be surprised, though, if somebody, like it says, late first, early second, that's where he's being mocked at. You never know, man. You get around pick 30, 31, might be a team jump up there and nab it.
I personally would love this pick over a Tyler Booker pick in that draft or in that selection. You know what I mean? Like this guy just to me seems like he's way more versatile.
Got it. All right, moving along. Jonah Savaiinaea. Savaiinaea, I think is how you say it. Jonah Savaiinaea, and I believe he's a noose. I could be wrong. I think he's a noose. So late first, early second. Jonah Savaiinaea's versatility. He's played tackle and guard, adds intrigue to his profile. His wide frame and powerful hands make him a force in pass protection and run blocking. While not the most agile, his physicality and finishing mentality project him as a late first or early second.
Like the Peter Griffin laugh.
With starting potential, his RAS voice is amazing at a 9.22, 10 and a quarter. Jacob over eating potato chips. Let's mute his mic real quick. 10 and a quarter hand size, arm length 33.8, 6'4", 324, 26 bench reps. Not too bad. Vertical jump of 29 inches, an 810 broad jump. His 40-yard dash was a 4.95, giving him an elite composite speed grade. And his shuttle was a 4.66. That was an incomplete agility grade, but he did get a 7.64 for that short shuttle.
It would be the most Goody thing ever to take another Arizona tackle in the first round for the second year in a row, right? Like, I could see it happening. It's not totally unrealistic, right?
Yeah, I don't think so, man.
I honestly couldn't see him taking him, which would be hilarious. Where it's like, hey, where you guys want to play? I don't know.
There you go. All right, Holmes said he's a Samoan, bro. There you go, man. I seen a picture of him, bro. He's got the tribal sleeve down the arm. He just looks like an ass kicker, man. He does. So, all right, moving along here. And by the way, that would have been y'all may have said it while I was reading. I apologize if you did. That would have been our boy Jordan Morgan's teammate too, right?
Yep.
Oh, yeah.
All right, next you got Luke Kandra in the 82 spot out of Cincinnati, projected draft position, 3rd to 4th round. Luke Kandra is a zone scheme darling. What do we run, guys? With smooth footwork and a high football IQ, his ability to excel as both a pass protector and run blocker has elevated his stock. Kandra's mid-round projection reflects his reliability and upside as a potential starter or high-end backup. RAS 9.36. Very short arms, though, 31.8. He was 6'4", 319 with 10-inch hands, 33 on the bench press, so boys.
That's
Vertical
incredible.
jump, 32.5, 905 with the broad, giving him an elite explosion grade. He ran a 40-yard dash of 5.17, scoring an 8.21. And then it looks like we didn't have the 10-yard split at the time of taking this down, but I imagine he's probably going to be close to elite or very good in the composite speed grade. His agility grade, not so good, but as a guard, you're not too concerned with it. 4.78 with the shuttle and an 8.33 with the 3 cones. So he did have a poor agility grade. So, again, Luke Kandra comes in at the 82 spot. What do y'all think about him?
We talked about him a couple of shows ago, didn't we? We did a little breakdown on him. I like him. I think that's pretty good draft projection too, right? 3rd, 4th round range for him. And I like the fact that, anytime you see a interior O-lineman with smooth footwork and high football IQ in the write-up, you got to feel good about it. So I don't know. What do you think, Jacob?
I look at him and I see a steady Eddie type of guy. 2022, 71.9, 2023, 81.5, 2024, 76.7. He only allowed 4 sacks. That was all in 2023 when he had his best graded out year. I'd say he's semi-versatile. Looks like he's predominantly a right guard, but he did have substantial snaps, almost 100 at left guard as well. When you look at his tape, I've actually looked at him. He seems like he's semi-explosive. And then when you look at his grades by game, like each week, he's one of those guys who just consistently is good. He's not great. He's not explosive. It's pretty much mid-70s, high 60s. At the very least, he's a maybe low 60s guy. So, like, he always comes to play. He's always ready. Lunch pail type dude. I kind of would totally be okay with him depending on where we pick him at.
Tim, you got anything else, bro? Good.
No, I think he's one of those borderline guys, right? You know, kind of like it says there. I think we hit it on the head with the write-up, borderline starter or a really, really good backup option.
This is one of Tim's guys, though.
This guy right here, man,
bowling ball.
This is so fascinating. Wait till you hear the way this scouting report wraps up. This is Willie Lampkin out of North Carolina. Got a wrestling background. You see those two guys getting too frisky with each other up here, that emoji, right? Projected draft position, 4th to 5th round. North Carolina's Willie Lampkin is undersized. Keep in mind, guys, he weighed in at 279 at the combine. But listen to this. He is undersized but plays with an elite motor, a center guard hybrid. Lampkin's quickness and leverage make him a fit for teams needing a scrappy lineman. His wrestling background adds to his tenacity, projecting him as a mid-round depth piece with starter potential. Emory Hunt, who is on the Ross Tucker Football Podcast all the time, big draft analyst, had him as his number 1 center in the entire draft. That blew me away. I was like, did Emory Hunt – I had to rewind it. I was like, Emory Hunt has him as the best center in this draft, which is wild to think about. What do y'all think about Willie Lampkin here? We get him in the 101 spot. I don't think Goody touches him at 5'10", 279. Tim, you know how Goody is here. But, man, he's going to be one of those players, wherever he's drafted, and they're on TV, I'm going to be looking over going, what's Willie Lampkin doing right now? Because he sounds like he plays the game the right way.
For sure. Hasn't really played a lot of center recently, though. 53 snaps in 23. Played a lot of right guard last year. So that doesn't mean you forget how to play. And obviously we know how things change when you go to the NFL, depending on who does draft him. But I agree with you, Clayton. I don't think this is a Goody pick here at all.
Oh, you're breaking my heart, man.
Emory Hunt is a big film guy, so that's where he's probably got it from. Go ahead, Jacob. I'm sorry, man.
No, you're good. Tim, you're underselling him, my friend. He played left guard for 141 snaps in 2023. He didn't, went and was serviceable for 53 snaps at center. He then played the predominant rest of the 2023 season at right guard with 622 snaps. But Tim, in 2022, the guy played almost 900 snaps at center. It's like riding a bike. The guy can do it. Now, granted, is he like an Oompa Loompa type person? Yes, he is. But his run block grade was 87.6, pass block rate of 88.8, zone grade of 90.4. Come on now. And a gap grade of 75.9 with a true pass set block grade of 78.4.
So why do you say this is my guy? This is clearly your guy. I mean, you sound like his agent right now.
You brought him up to me, and it made me very intrigued with him. I The guy, he's one of those. He reminds me of Zach Thomas. You know what I mean? The guy that's like, he can't play the game. The guy's 5'10". You know what I mean? As a linebacker, this guy's he's barely 5. Yeah, about 5'10" and a half. That to me is a little shocking, being an interior offensive lineman, but he just seems like he plays, man. He just plays.
Just plays. That's what he does.
I'd be
That's all he does.
I'm too on the fence to see how that translates at the pro level, though.
Clint says he'll have a chip on his shoulder.
Yeah, I don't want him on my football team. I just want to watch from afar, and I'm going to be going, I hope he kicks people's asses.
Clayton's heightest. We all know that.
Clayton's what?
Did you just make up a word?
Yeah, you're heightest, dude. You look down on people that are smaller.
Wow.
Literally.
You're an amazing person. You know that, don't you?
Clint says he'll have a chip on his show, right? At 279, he needs to eat a few chips, bro. Get on the Lays. I'm not talking about the baked Lays either. Number 114 on the list here, boys. You'll notice the cheese emoji. You notice the target. He's a top 30 pick, top 30 visit, I should say, for the Packers. In the 114 spot, Jacob Bayer out of Arkansas. Projected draft position, 7th round to undrafted. Arkansas, you got me saying Arkansas.
Arkansas State, baby.
Arkansas State's Jacob Bayer is a sleeper center with a knack for precision. His grit shines in his ability to anchor and control the line of scrimmage. Bayer's late-round projection suits teams looking for a developmental pivot with long-term upside. His RAS is 707. He's only 6'2", 306, 32.5-inch arms, 10 1/4 hand size. 40-yard dash was a 5.2. Broad jump was 806. Vertical was 28. 707, not horrible, but I think it's hilarious.
Mullet game 9.8 out of 10. Mullet score is high.
Yeah. And his shuttle obviously doesn't have a great agility grade there, shuttle of 4.83, but Goody sees something in him. And at 114, if we can get him later in the draft, we got him in the 114 spot. And we're showing him 7th round to undrafted. Imagine that being your pick 237. Sign me up. Me up.
You know what's cool too is that like if he was to fall to us in a bargain bin type situation, you also look at the fact like he's okay with his 40-yard dash, but the 20-yard split intrigues me. It's like that's a guy that can pull. You know what I mean? And then once he gets it going a little bit, it's like get out of his way type guy. Where it's like if you want to do any sort of pulls or screens or any type of that stuff, like. And I know that, we definitely value offensive linemen that can get out and run. That's kind of why I think Josh Myers was the experience that we had, is that we thought like a guy that big can run that way. Like, let's try it out. If we actually find somebody else that's, not necessarily 6'5", 300 pounds, but can actually pull and do what do you call it? Clay pin and pull and a lot of that kind of stuff where it's like you ask him to do certain things. He seems to fit the bill, especially if we can get him in a bargain. What if he fell to the 5th or 6th? Like, let's go.
Yeah. Again, man, if he's in the 7th, snatch him up. I'd be all about it. Prince says he can do it. Have y'all seen that video, by the way, the mullet shake off?
No.
Oh it's where he calls out Cody.
That's Cody, yeah. He calls out
for Cody.
Do it. So we got to get that sound drop for sure.
We do.
All right.
By the way, he also says if Cody's not watching, you can scroll along. And unfortunately,
you're not Cody. Just scroll along.
That's right.
All right, Tim's like, what in the hell are these guys talking about? 116, Clay Webb out of Jacksonville State, projected draft position 5th to 6th round. Clay Webb dominated at Jacksonville State, earning accolades as a top FCS guard. His athleticism and nasty streak give him a chance to stick in the NFL, though his level of competition raises questions. Webb's mid-round projection reflects his potential as a depth player who could compete for a starting role. RAS 9.20 at 6'3", 312 pounds. Good bench at 29 reps. Vertical 31 inches. He jumped out the gym. 40-yard dash of 5'1". Looking pretty solid here. What do y'all think about Clay Webb?
82.0 grade last year, according to PFF.
Ooh, let's go.
Hasn't missed a lot of time. Strictly a left guard. Seems like played a little bit of left tackle, as in looks like one snap in 2022. But yeah, man, PFF's high on him, and I think there's a lot of value here. Definitely late for sure.
Yeah, as it's pointed out here, we took him this morning, right? So
that's one of my late round steals that I absolutely love.
237.
Yeah. God, that would be great at 230. Getting 116th best prospect at 237. Let's go. Sounds good. All right, moving along here. Jake Majors out of Texas, projected draft position, 5th to 6th round. I'm going to go rapid fire here, guys. We're out of time. 5th to 6th round, Texas center Jake Majors combines experience and agility, making him a reliable option in the middle. A captain, Majors excels in pass protection and has the range to thrive in zone schemes. His mid-round projection fits teams seeking a polished day 3 center. 6'3", 306, 25 bench reps is all we got on him. Next, you got Jared Wilson out of Georgia. Now, he's got a pretty good athletic prowess to him. Projected draft position, 2nd to 3rd round. We've got him in the 123 spot, so we're way lower on Jared Wilson than most. Although the Packers did meet with him, Georgia's Jared Wilson is a gritty center with a solid foundation in pass blocking. He allowed 0 sacks in 2024. While he lacks elite size or power, his athleticism and technique give him a shot as a day 2 backup with room to grow. At RAS of 9.84, 6'3", 310, 23 bench reps, 32-inch vertical, broad jump of 9.04, 40-yard dash of 4.84. I can see him on some pin and pull at that center position.
He was the
Next,
best guy around.
The 129 spot, Jonah Monheim out of USC. Projected draft position is 5th to 7th round. USC's Jonah Monheim offers versatility across the interior with starts at center and guard. His athleticism pops in zone schemes, though he'll need to add strength to handle NFL power. Monheim's late round projection highlights his value as a swing lineman with starting potential. RAS is incomplete, 6'4", 302.
Jacob, you're his agent too, aren't you?
He was the best guy around.
Close enough. Final thoughts. The 2025 interior offensive line class blends top-tier talents like Tyler Booker and Donovan Jackson with versatile mid-round prospects like Jonah Monheim and Luke Kandra. From day 1 starters to developmental depth, this group offers options for every team's needs as the draft process unfolds. These players will be key names to watch for bolstering NFL interiors in 2025.
I still am on the Jonah train. I just think if we could get him in the 5th, 6th, 7th, that'd be unbelievable value right there.
Gotcha. All right. Y'all ready to give away an autographed Mason Crosby card?
Yes, let's do it.
Let's do it. So anybody who is a member of the Patreon group, at least the $3 tier, or a member here on YouTube, we put your name on the Pinky Wheel of Fame here.
How about these hands?
Now, if you'll notice to the right, that's all the names that are in there. We got 115 entries here. So we're going to spin this sucker to prove that it's not rigged. Someone in the chat, give me a number as soon as possible, between 1 and 10. Give me a number. Hurry, 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 hurry. My wife is going to kill me. We're way over.
Big money, big money, big money. No whammy, no whammy. Come on, guys.
Come on, guys.
3.
Three.
Nathan has 3.
All right, so we're going to sort this, or we're going to shuffle it 3 times. All right, 1, 2, 3. That way you can't say it's rigged. All right, enjoy
Commence the rigging, says Prince.
All right, here we go. The winner of the autographed Mason Crosby card with the jersey patch in it is
Big money, no whammy. Big money, no whammy. Big money, no whammy.
Oh boy.
Who do we got?
Oh no.
Chewy.
Chewy.
Chewy has won. That's the second time Chewy's won.
Here's the guy.
He's got that good luck. Boy, that's what I'm talking about. All right, so Chewy is the first place winner. If for some reason we don't hear from Chewy, all right, then we're going to go ahead and spin it again here. And this will be the second place winner. If we do not hear from from Chewy, then the autograph card will go to – let's land on Chewy again. I will laugh. Oh, it's almost Bates. Oh,
look at that. Is that
Michael,
Ron? Michael God.
Michael Godfrey.
Tell me that doesn't sound like a member of the mob, Michael Godfrey.
Yeah, it does. Yeah.
He was the best guy around.
Thank you, Tim. Needed that. All right, and in case Michael Godfrey doesn't come forward, the third place winner would be
Gabagool.
The third place winner.
Is that Rambo? No, Roger.
Mr. Roger Davis.
Roger Davis.
All right.
Here's the guy.
All right, so there you go. Chewy is the winner of the autographed Mason Crosby card. If Chewy goes MIA and doesn't come forward within, let's say, a week, we'll give it to Michael Godfrey. If he doesn't come forward, we'll give it to Roger Davis. All right, so there you go. Mike Berry confirms this is rigged. Catfish says it's rigged as well. There you go. I love it. Everybody in the chat, rigged. And then we got this one random in here too. Go ahead and hit them with it, Tim.
Oh my gosh.
Come
Jacob
on.
loves this one, man. Jacob loves it.
Duval.
Why does his
All right.
face look like that?
Because he's a weirdo. What do you want me to say? All right, guys, that's going to do it. No show tomorrow morning. I'm sleeping in, and I'm so excited about it. I'm so excited. Tim got fired up too. So
Let's go.
we will see y'all tomorrow night, 7 p.m. Central for PTA Live. I'm going to try to take some time tomorrow afternoon. I'm working on the defensive tackle breakdown. So we're going to do a deep dive, just like we did with the offensive lineman. We'll look at the defensive tackles and where they all rank out. Every time I see Tony Holman's name, I think of Tom Holman every single time. I cannot help but do. I just see his face.
So does Emilio. Yeah.
You wonder where Emilio is. There it is. It's no coincidence. Tom Holman shows up in the chat. Emilio disappears.
Never seen him in the same place, have you? No.
Brad McFarley said Clayton Mellon processed. That breaks me up. Go out there and throw the flag up on the mailbox. Wait a couple hours, go out there, pull it back out. God, I'm crying. All right, that's it, guys. Everybody have a good night. I don't know why you choose to hang out with us, but since you did and you made it through, hit that like button. We'll see y'all tomorrow. Take care.
There we go.
All right.
Bye, guys.